Historical matchmaking is even dumber than you think. In recent videos, mostly the ones covering the challenges in balancing War Thunder, a lot of people were commenting that War Thunder would be more balanced if historical matchmaking was used instead. Now I know that I've covered historical matchmaking several times on this channel, but whenever I see a lot of people commenting this, I always feel the need to make a video about it because it's just a terrible idea. And now more than ever, I have proof that it wouldn't work, because if any of you played the April Fool's event, you'll know exactly what I mean. In that mode, we had World War I tanks against World War I tanks, and it was a total mess. The German tanks were ever so slightly better than the Allies tanks, and absolutely no one would queue in on the Allies side and the game would hardly load at all. History is not a good balancer for video games, not only because it would still be hard to place tanks against each other fairly even with history as your guide, because the times that tanks were invented or used is not cut and dry as it sounds, but also because the elements that quote balance tanks in real life are not accounted for in War Thunder. For one thing, breakdowns and mechanical failures and ratios for another. Sure, the King Tiger has more armor and more firepower than a Sherman, but of course there was something like 40 Shermans for every one King Tiger. Not to mention, in the early years of using the King Tiger, they suffered from numerous mechanical issues that were slowly fixed over time. And I'm not saying we should introduce these things into the game to make it more fair, I'm saying that because adding these things into the game would make the game awful, tanks need to be matched based on capability and performance, not year created. And before I get 100 comments demanding either just a mode or a setting for historical matchmaking, if you really want to play that way, you can just make a custom. And before I get 200 comments saying that there should just be a cutoff between the Cold War and World War II, I would ask you, what would you do with vehicles made at the end of World War II that are better than some of the vehicles made at the beginning of the Cold War and vice versa? Time simply does not balance War Thunder.